Hey everyone, it's Tuesday. Just wanted to get online real quick, talk about a couple different things. The first of which is Crossings by Herbie Hancock. Got this white label promo copy the other day pretty affordably, and actually very affordably for only I think like $6 I paid for it. So really, really nice album, and comes with the original insert and little promo sticker there, so very, very cool to get a white label promo of this. And if you're well versed in fusion, you've probably heard this album before, but if you haven't, this is just such a great album, so very highly recommended. Another thing I've been listening to lately is The Big Express by XTC. Very, very sophisticated and melodic rock music from the 80s, and I'll say that a lot of rock music from the 80s just doesn't do it for me, but this is really, really good. So I've had this for a little while, but didn't get around to spinning it until now, and this is really good. I got a couple more records I want to show real quick. One is Ammerland by Fürst and Frohling. This is a German progressive rock duo, and I believe this is a Canadian press on Bomb Records of this album. I know it has an alternate cover because the regular cover is different, but anyway, Bomb Records. First album I have on this label, and it's a really flimsy pressing. I'm almost afraid I'm going to break it, but, so it could have been thicker. But anyway, still sounds great and very cool to have this. The music sounds almost like if Anthony Phillips and Tangerine Dream collaborated. That's almost what this sounds like, because you've got the spacey synthesizers and, Mellotron, stuff like that. But there's also a lot of very acoustic, almost pastoral sounding guitars. So, really cool and unique album. So, very cool to get that, and if you see a copy of this floating around in the wild, definitely something to pick up. One more record I have to show. This is something we were talking about on Facebook a little bit. Flying Colors. I caught this band along with Jolly in New York. I guess it was sometime last year. But anyway, I got this vinyl copy of the album signed by the band, so I just wanted to show that real quick. Flying Colors is made up of pretty big names in progressive rock, like Neil Morse, Dave LaRue, Mike Portnoy, Steve Morse, and then Casey McPherson is, he's more prolific in the kind of pop rock scene. So, all these virtuoso musicians collaborated with, a more mainstream sounding singer, and the results are pretty good. I do think that the album, I don't think it compares to the best Spock's Beard Dream Theater albums out there, but it's still really good, and they put on a fantastic show live. So every now and again I'll take this out for a spin, and to have it signed by the whole band is very cool. So just wanted to show that real quick because we were talking about it on Facebook. And also a couple CDs I pulled out. Once autumn rolls around, I usually get in the mood for kind of, I want to say more melancholic, I don't know, darker music, and a lot of, maybe even heavier stuff too, but a lot of that stuff tends to come from Sweden, and I just, by chance, happen to listen to 3 Swedish albums today, and all of them are great. So I want to show those real quick. First one is Blackwater Park by Opeth. One of my favorite bands for sure, and I'd love a copy of this on vinyl, but, I just can't afford to pay that much for a record for the most part. But anyway, fantastic album, and even a decade later, this album still sounds revolutionary because there just hasn't been any bands that have a way of mixing the progressive rock and the beautiful melodies with just that really heavy death metal edge. And there are other bands that do it, but few can do it as well as Opeth. So, you know, these guys get a lot of praise, and I think it's deserved. What a great album. Another one I listened to today is Left Hand Path by Entombed. This is also a Swedish death metal album, but it's a much more primitive and early album. Really, really good stuff here, though. And that Dan Seagrave artwork, wow. And actually, I'll take it out of the jewel case just so you can look at that real quick. This is something I would kill to have on vinyl, but, you know, again, it's like out of my price range. But anyway, this is just really heavy, got that buzzsaw sounding Swedish death metal. Really just awesome. And it's got a very dark atmosphere throughout it, which I think is something that a lot of death metal bands, you know, try to convey but just don't. And this is just really dark. It feels like an atmospheric album, so very cool. And one more I listened to today, The Great Cold Distance by Catatonia. This is signed by the band. I did actually see Catatonia open for Opeth in Philadelphia not too long ago. I guess at this point it's probably a couple of years, maybe only a year, I don't know. But anyway, this is signed by the band. I didn't actually get them to sign it in person, but a buddy of mine had this, and you know, I guess he's friends with the band or whatever, so sent this my way, and very appreciated. And this is just a really great album. It's different than the early Catatonia stuff, which is much more doom and death metal oriented, but still really good. Very dark sounding music. This comes with an insert and also a very nice booklet. And I think this might be signed, although I'm not positive. No, this isn't signed, but a little sheet here with the album cover and the band. So that's all I really had to talk about today. Not much of a planned video, but just a couple things I wanted to share. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all next video.